One of the most beloved and recognizable franchises of all time has to be Star Wars, a worldwide phenomenon that spans beyond just movies, but to TV shows, books, comics, theme parks, toys, and even video games. Over the years, we've seen some amazing video games that take you through the movies and others that expand the amazing Star Wars universe. Now, as much as I'd like to remember all the great Star Wars games, and I could go on and on about them, that'll be saved for another video. Today, I want to go over and remind you of all the odd and unique Star Wars games you probably didn't even know were made in the first place. So let's travel through light speed and go to a galaxy far, far away to find the strangest Star Wars games ever made. Now, it's safe to say there's not a lot of good that came from Episode 1, but we did get some great games based around the movie. Mainly just Jedi Power Battles and Star Wars Racer, but there was another wacky kart racer based on characters and locations from Episode 1, Star Wars Super Bombad Racing. This zany kart-based racing game may look like it's made just for kids, but the great controls, amazing track design, and awesome soundtrack helps make it to this list. Seriously, Star Wars music has always been iconic and just great, but this took the themes from the movie and gave it a whole new fun upbeat mix. Don't be fooled by the giant-headed characters popping out of their signature vehicles. This game was a lot of fun, and not too many people knew about it. Number 4 on the list actually breaks the rules a little bit. It wasn't really a fully released game, but actually some interesting DLC. The first Force Unleashed was a pretty great game, but its downloadable content tells a very interesting and different story. If played through, it takes you down an alternate timeline where Starkiller kills Darth Vader and becomes Palpatine's new apprentice. With Vader out of the way, Starkiller is sent down to Tatooine to capture the droids. While there, you wind up fighting Boba Fett, who's also on the hunt, and ends with Ben Kenobi sending Luke away on the Millennium Falcon and staying back to fight you. It does take an odd turn when after you kill Ben, you then have to fight him as a ghost. Yeah, that was the thing that happened. And then, in the second DLC for the first game, you go down to the Battle of Hoth and fight Luke Skywalker, but he comes at you hard, even turning to the dark side to try and defeat you. Then, after defeating him, the alternate timeline continues with Force Unleashed 2. Now, this game was a heaping pile of garbage. Seriously, one of the worst Star Wars games ever made, but the DLC is kind of fun. Like the first two parts when they took you through A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, now you find yourself in Return of the Jedi during the Battle of Endor, and yes, you get to kill Ewoks. Lots and lots of Ewoks. Then it gets dark. You have to fight Han Solo while Chewbacca is attacking you in AT-ST, and it ends with you ripping Chewie out of the Chicken Walker and using him as a giant meat shield, forcing Han Solo to kill his best friend, and man, that hits hard in the feelers. Not okay. So, if you look past the fact that the third part disregarded its own canon by bringing Vader back to life, the DLC was really interesting and tells a very unique story. I'd love to see even more from this timeline, but alas, no more Force Unleashed games, therefore no more cool DLC. If I asked you to tell me about the Star Wars chess game, you'd probably be like, oh man, let the Wookiee win, am I right? In which I'd say, no, not Dejarik, I mean Star Wars chess that you can play on the old DOS operating system. It played out just like you'd think, light side versus dark side, classic chess rules, but after each time you took out an opposing piece, it'd go to a unique cutscene of that character taking out the other character. Whether it was Han Solo blasting a stormtrooper or Boba Fett finally being able to disintegrate a foe, it was a nice treat every single time. Best part was anytime you take out a piece using the C-3PO Bishop, his animation would always involve him vanquishing his enemies on accident. Checkmate. Now it's time to dive deep into the realm of obscurity for our next game on the list. Star Wars Masters of Terrakasi is by far the worst game I'm going to talk about today. You know, outside of the heaping pile of garbage that was Force Unleashed 2. But this game really is strange. It's a clunky 3D fighter that pits Star Wars characters from the saga against each other. Yeah, there's a half-assed story there trying to explain all the fighting, but really, there's no cutscenes, no character-specific endings, just blocky movement and friends beating each other up. That's all you need to know. But hey, it's a Star Wars fighting game. Just try not to figure out why Luke's lightsaber does just as much damage as Han Solo pistol whipping someone. It's not supposed to make sense, it's just kind of fun. Though, I would say we should get a new Star Wars fighting game, just as long as they don't try to justify it with a weird story. Just give me my favorite characters beating each other up with great gameplay. Could you imagine playing as Darth Maul fighting Kylo Ren? Yes, please! Speaking of games that don't make any sense. I love talking about the #1 pick on this list because nobody ever believes me when I say it exists, till I show them the gameplay. What happens when you take Twisted Metal and mix in your favorite Star Wars characters? You get Star Wars Demolition. Much like Terrakasi, this game is not good, and the controls are abysmal. But in what other game can you get a CIS tank firing at an AT-ST while Boba Fett flies around unprotected, mind you, blasting Malakitty riding around on his Rancor? You aren't gonna find it anywhere but here in Star Wars Demolition. It's also the first game you take control of Aurra Sing and see her sniping shots off her speeder at Darth Maul riding around on a speeder bike with double lightsabers ignited. Yeah, remember when we thought Aurra Sing was gonna be a thing? I do honestly believe that this game deserves a remake, or, you know, just make a really good Battlefront game with awesome vehicle fights. Oh, shots fired. Pew pew! There you have it. Thanks for touring the galaxy with me for the top 5 strangest Star Wars games ever made. Which ones do you remember playing? Or do you have another title you think deserved to make it onto this video? Let me know in the comments below, and also give me a heads up on what other top 5s you'd want to see here. Till the next time, guys, I'll see you later! If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, and if you're already done that, sign up for notifications. You aren't going to want to miss the other videos I have planned for this channel. Again, guys, thanks for watching. I love you so much. Bye!